Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing another tutorial in Minecraft Sky Factory 4. Today I'm going to be showing how to build the Matter Overdrive Fusion Reactor, which is another great source of power, and it also goes towards another advancement that you need if you're trying to complete all the different advancements in Sky Factory 4. Now, if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like. But most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button. That way you'll see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. Now, I'm going to be referencing several other tutorials in this video. I will link those down in the description. So if you're not sure how to do any of the steps I've referenced, please be sure to look there first. As you can see by the upper left of my screen, I'm already an Android. Being an Android form does make this process a little bit easier, so I do recommend that step. I will have a tutorial showing how to become an Android. I'll link that down in the bottom description. So there's a couple things we're going to need to make this work, and we're going to go ahead and look at those here. So first thing we're going to need is some fusion reactor coils. We'll need a bunch of those, and those you're going to need 2 isolinear circuits MK1. You're going to need 4 superconductor magnets and 2 titanium plates. Next, you're going to need a fusion reactor controller. You're only going to need one of those. You're going to take 4 of those fusion reactor coils we just made, a titanium plate, a machine casing, an isolinear circuit MK2, isolinear circuit MK3, and a holographic sign. The reason the holographic sign looks like it does here is that they will not go inside of a picture frame. They're invisible, so I just popped it up there so you could see the component. Next, we're going to need some gravitational stabilizers. We'll need 4 of those. That's going to be 2 superconductor magnets, a machine casing, 2 titanium plates, a space-time equalizer, and another one of the holographic signs. Next, we're going to need some matter decomposers. Those you'll need 2, and that's going to be 3 titanium plates, 2 sticky pistons, an isolinear circuit MK3, machine casing, and a matter energy conversion matrix. And lastly, we're going to need some machine hulls. I believe we need about 16 of those, and that's just 4 titanium plates. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab our stack of goodies that we have there. Some other components we're going to need, we'll use those in a few minutes. Now, the next thing that you're going to need, you go in and you do a search for Matter Overdrive. Well, it would help if I could spell. Matter Overdrive. You're going to see here a gravitational anomaly. Now, these are found out in the world. You won't find these on the standard plane. You're going to have to go to one of the other zones. So the Nether has them. You're going to find them as well in the Lost Cities. So any of those places is where you're going to go. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I've created one in Creative and put it here in the world, but you normally wouldn't find those here. Let's go ahead and pop over to it real quick. Okay, so as you can see, we're a little ways away from our starting area, and that's because as this gets stronger and more powerful, you build your reactor here, it can start to tear apart and literally pull in blocks further and further from it. So you don't want to have it anywhere too close to something important that you don't want to get destroyed. But here in Creative, I've placed a gravitational anomaly. Normally, you'd have to find these out in the world themselves. And because I'm an Android, it's giving me its different specifications. Mass being its size, range, break range, the distance it's going to break things. I'm not sure about horizon and break level, of course, being up and down. So you can increase this, some of its stats, by dropping things into it. I got a piece of stone. I'm going to toss that in there. As you can see, it went up a little bit. So different items can increase it by different amounts. Emerald and diamond blocks are really good. Those will increase the strength, the gravitational pull, and the different specifications. Now, right now I'm in Creative, so this is not pulling me into it or hurting me, but as it gets bigger and stronger, it could pull you in and harm you. So you're going to want to be able to fly. You're going to want to try to stay not too close to it and have a decent set of armor on. So first thing we want to set down is going to be our controller. Now, to do that, we want it to be on the same level as our gravitational pull there. So I'm going to take just a building block of some type, put it here. I'm going to build out. And our controller needs to be 5 blocks away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be this one right here. So when I drop my controller down, as you can see, now it's giving me the shape of the actual reactor we're going to build. That's pretty awesome. Now, next we're going to take our stabilizer and we're going to set it right here. Now, if you set it in the wrong way, as you can see, it's not facing. It should have the orange side up because you're placing it down. And sometimes, even if you try to place it against the back end, it's still going to go in the wrong way. So you can use a wrench to spin it, or in this situation, I'm just going to break this, drop it, and then put my controller back down in front of it. That works perfectly fine. The gravitational stabilizer is what's going to help stabilize the gravitational hull so that it doesn't get hopefully too big and destroy everything, although if it does get too large, even those can become damaged. Now we need to have 4 of those, and they need to be the same distance away, 2, 3, and 4, as that last one, that first one we put in. I do it on all 4 sides. Now the stone that I'm putting up here, 3, 4, we're going to be able to just vein mine that and destroy it here when we're done. These are just giving us something to build off of here in the middle of nowhere. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. So there are 4 gravitational stabilizers, 1 on each side. Now, next we're going to take our fusion reactor coils. So on 3 sides, not the side where your controller is, but the other 3, you're going to place one. Oh, that's wrong. You're going to place one here, here, and here. And do that here as well. And here, here, and here. All right, 9 of those. Now on this side, we're going to take our matter decomposers. We're going to set them on the side of our reactor controller. Okay? Those are matter decomposers. And that just leaves us with our machine hulls. That's going to be the other 4 blocks building in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to build that. Get that there. Oh, wrong one. Let's move these over a little bit closer so it's easier. Again, we're going to get rid of all of our stone when we're done here. These are just allowing us to build a little easier. We're going to do this on all sides, which is going to connect and finish our circle. All right. Now, as you can see, our actual controller is now showing some specs here. So we've got power 100, charge 0, matter 0. So now we can get rid of all this stone that we've got in here. Those are no longer needed. Now, because we're so close, I'm breaking these, very likely going to pull the stone into the actual gravitational anomaly here, which could help make it a little bit stronger. So again, as it eats up blocks, it is going to get stronger. There we go. So there we have now, basically, our built reactor. There's a couple things we're going to need to do to it. Now, a couple things. First of all, we're going to need to give it some power. So in this situation, what I'm going to use is we're going to use a flux point and a flux plug. And if you're not familiar with how to use those, we'll link that tutorial down in the description as well. So we're going to go ahead and put our point here. We're going to put it on our network. I already have one made, Onlydraven's network. We need to power this thing. As you can see, it's powering. It's at 1%. So it's starting to power. If you click on it now, you'll see that it is starting to build power. Now it's going relatively slowly, because right now mine's being run by solar power, which is way over there. So let's go ahead and change the day. It's going to help it power up a little bit better. As you can see, now that the sun's out, it's powering it up. Now, the next thing we're going to do is in our matter decomposer, there's items in here. What we're doing is we're powering this so that we can decompose matter. It's going to help us in a couple of different ways that we'll cover later. So we're going to go ahead and put what I'm going to use in here is some diamonds. So I'm going to grab a stack of diamond. Rid of the plug. We've already got plugs set up. So we'll grab 2 stacks of diamond. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to put one in here. Now this is very slow, but this little arrow here will very slowly start to move, and it takes a minute or so for it to kick in. But once it does, it's going to start creating decomposed matter. Now what that's going to do, as you can see here, is going to start to fill up on this side. Now, it can be used a couple different ways, but basically it's almost like a coolant. It's going to come in here. As you can see, this is going to build up, and as it builds up, our reactor is going to be creating power. And oddly enough, that's pretty much everything that's involved. So to get the power out of this, you could go ahead and take that flux point that I was talking about a moment ago. Say we'll grab a flux point. Already got the point. I meant the plug. Flux plug. We pop one of those on top. Now we can create a new network. And we'll call this one reactor. And we'll call it fusion reactor. Right, let's add that. Yes. So now we have fusion reactor. So when we choose that, now this is powering any plug that we put on that network. Nothing's going out of it right now, so there's not a lot going on. But as an example, if we had something pulling out power to it, it would pull that out of there. So that's a way of transporting the power out. Now, the last thing, of course, we want to look at is the advancement itself. So the advancement is to get it to 15,000 RF per tick. Now this is not an easy thing to figure out if you're doing. If you look in here, you click on this, it's showing -0, 146. Is 146 the number, 0? This is going to be the decomposed matter. So as this is slowly finishing out, we're going to see that number start to go well. And we're almost done with our first piece here. But this, as it creates, going up is going to create more power. So what we want to do is we do want to feed this to make it stronger. So let's grab a stack of diamond here. So I'm going to just start tossing those in. As you can see, the numbers are just getting higher the further I go. This is increasing its strength, its power, but it's also creating the distance away from the actual anomaly that it will destroy blocks. So you want to be careful not to go too far because you don't want to tear apart your actual reactor. So keeping an eye on that, you really just want to get up to the 15,000 ticks per second that the advancement needs. And it's going to take a while for it to build up. Now, as you can see over here, a little blue number, that is going to be our matter dust. No, it's going to be our matter decomposer. What's going on? It makes matter dust as a side effect. Let's go ahead real quick and clear the weather. Like I'm a mad scientist here. So as that's creating decomposed matter, it's helping build it up on this side. So you can see here, matter is at 12%. 9% power, that's where we're about almost now. And then right now it's getting power 100%. So it's getting a full amount of power going into it. But you can just continue to feed items into that. Again, diamond and emerald blocks are really good, but it'll take just about anything you throw into it will make it stronger. So I've still got some of these stone here. As I toss those in, it's increasing it as well, but at a much smaller rate than it was when I was throwing the emerald or diamond in. You can just sit there and chuck items into that, and as it does, it will go ahead and power up your items. Let's go ahead and grab another stack of diamond. Throw some more of those in there. Oh, wrong one. And that's, of course, having a much larger jump at a time as we're tossing it in there. But again, keep an eye on it, because if it goes too big, it could very easily destroy everything you've built here. But that's the basic premise of how to build one. Now, once your reactor is built up to the 15,000 of FE per tick, then just by right-clicking on the bottom of this block here, your controller will give you the advancement. Now, as you can see up at the top of the screen there, it's showing that right now the amount of FE I'm making is pretty high, appearing to be much higher than the 15. The numbers in the system don't make a whole lot of sense, but here's really what you want to watch to get this up to 15,000 in order to get your advancement. All right, well, that's the basics of building the reactor. There's a lot more advanced parts that you can build into it, different ways of using it and upgrading it. We'll look at that a little bit in the future. right. Well, that's going to do it for this tutorial. If you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my other tutorials, please be sure to put those down in the comments. I'll do my best to try to get back with you as quickly as I can. And if you have any recommendations or suggestions for other tutorials you'd like to see in Sky Factory 4, please feel free to throw those down there as well. I'm always looking for new ideas. But that's going to do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.